Well, a lot of times here, pretty much every video here, I have a stop camera basically holding one shot through the whole entire video that normally only lasts around 10 to 15 minutes. Here does that concept for over an hour and a half, and it really did not work for me. Oh boy. Let's unpack here. Yes, Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Alan Silvestri all come together, kind of like a reunion from Forrest Gump days, to really make a bold attempt at a very interesting story design and a storytelling idea. The idea that you're basically placing a camera, much like mine here, into a single spot and seeing its different journeys in that area through life as it became a house, as it was before a house, as it was like a driveway to the mansion across the street, as multiple families lived in the house, as multiple generations of the same family lived in the house. Here, really, I think, tackles what could have been, I think, a really groundbreaking idea and really tackled something that would be difficult to translate to screen. And I'm unfortunately here to say, for me at least, it proved to be too difficult to happen. A lot of times in here, they do things like they'll put little like screen boxes up and it kind of blends in where the next scene's going in the next setting and stuff like that. And it's an interesting idea, but the longer it happens, the more it keeps taking me out of the film, and the cut between like moments and stuff like that are so short that you don't really get a chance to live too much with these characters and live out scenes and moments. A lot of times, it feels like you're more watching like a variety show of like SNL type skits through these different ages happening, because most times, of the scenes and stuff are maybe a minute to 2 minutes long. There isn't much time to breathe. This movie is really forcing you to intake the whole entire time. And because of that pacing issue, it just took me out of it, and it took out kind of my enjoyment of it. Mixed in there's some, storylines that obviously take center stage. Like, very clearly, Zemeckis wanted to make sure Wright and Hanks and the storyline that they went through as a couple, as well as much of what happened with Tom Hanks's character as Richard and his parents and his family in that house, took center stage in the movie. But they kept cutting back to different parts, and some of those parts I felt were given a lot more time and fleshed out a lot more, and other ones felt like random cut-ins that you would only see every 45 minutes to an hour. Example here, somewhat spoiler for the movie. I don't think it spoils the movie that much, but the Native American area for the here, that story is pretty much you see a Native American man and woman falling in love. The next thing you see is her pregnant and then giving birth. And then the next time you see them, she's passed, they're both older and she has passed away. And you only get glimpses of that every so often. And it's just one of those, like, there's just story arcs that they're telling here in the movie here, that, like, I don't know why they were on screen, because I think it could have been interesting if you split them up and told them a little bit better. But instead of cutting back in and forth, some of them get lost. There was a lot of time, and I enjoyed this time period the best, of like the flapper era, the 1920s, of this couple where this guy creates the lazy boy reclining chair. And I love the bit, I love their energy, but that was so much of the movie outside of the Tom Hanks central storyline figure. There was some very, I think, powerful stuff that was more in the modern time of this house, including a great scene between a father, mother, and their son, having a very, I think, important conversation that much of us don't ever think about having to have in today's world, because we don't live in that perspective. But unfortunately, this movie, like I said, just interjects, and it takes away from those other storylines, and it really takes away from the storyline that we get in the main, family household, which starts with, Tom Hanks's father buying the house with his wife at post World War II, as she's now expecting a baby that happened to be Tom Hanks. And then everything that happens with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright's character and what keeps them in that house for so long, and the struggles they have in their relationship as they build their family and their life out. And it's just like so many like serious conversations here that are put in that are very like on the nose and heavy, but also feel very comedic and really written. Like, again, the SNL skit vibes I felt were very much there throughout a lot of these movies, and I'm like, some of these topics I can't tell if Zemeckis and crew want me to be like, feel bad for this person to like grasp on and get more serious, or if he's still trying to be kind of satire with this. Like I said, here it picks up in the last third as you really explore the complexities of the relationship between Vanessa and Richard, played by Tom Hanks and Robin Wright. But by that point, you're so taken out of the movie, and the movie has lost so much focus that now that it's trying to focus on this one thing, I think it misses all marks. Here's a movie that I really do applaud it taking a major chance. I mean, it's a movie like nothing else you'll see this year. And I don't want my bad review to say I don't want filmmakers taking chances like this. Zemeckis took a chance. With the stop camera, with the trying to tell like this like a story, in a single setting with many different like eras and stuff. But he just wasn't up for the task to make this go through successfully. And I do think the stop motion camera did hurt it throughout. In fact, I think there's a scene where the camera does move at one point, and to me that was the scene that was the most moving in the whole entire movie, because you got to actually see so much more of the characters and the actors and everything going on. I feel like if you didn't have like, there's a world where this movie, this concept, can work really well and be brilliant. It just did not work here, but I do not want to like lambast or say it was stupid to try. I like filmmakers trying things like this, and if it doesn't work, that sometimes happens, but I like seeing something different and something, uniquely, challenged here. On my ratings, here is getting the bronze rating. I have seen some people say they like this online. I think there is a group of people who may like this, but I think your well over average individual will not be able to engage with this movie very well and will feel like they wasted their time and just feel upset watching this, which is why it's getting my bronze rating. Here is out in theaters across the country starting this week. Tell me your thoughts if you've seen it down below. And yeah, I just so torn.